Thank you, Program Director, Deputy Minister Mahaule. I believe Minister Angie Motshekga is having technical difficulties, and I'm sure she will be joining soon. Those who are in attendance, members of Parliament and provincial legislatures, leaders of various political, trade union and civil society formations, and those who are in attendance. Thank you all for attending this Basic Education Sector Lekgotla. I always take time to attend this Lekgotla because I believe it is an important occasion for those involved in education to get together. It is an opportunity also for us to reflect on the actions that we must take now to build a better future for the youth of this country. I wish to begin by congratulating the class of 2020 for the overall pass rate that they achieved in the matric senior certificate examinations. This is an outstanding achievement considering the huge disruption that was caused to the academic year by the coronavirus pandemic. We are grateful for the efforts of Minister Motshekga and Deputy Minister Mahaule and the entire education team, as well as the various stakeholders and partners in the education fraternity for this great achievement. Thanks to their resilience, their tenacity, and persistence that we were able to salvage the academic year. Our educators, like our health professionals, gave of their best this past year. They displayed the utmost professionalism in going to teach our learners despite the risks. We're deeply saddened by the educators who we have lost to COVID-19. But we pay tribute to them and once again extend the sympathies of the entire nation to their families, their friends, and their colleagues. As we reflect on the past year, with all its hardship and difficulties, our greatest congratulations go to our matriculants. They are the ones who have done well, and we want to congratulate them and their families because they really make our nation proud. I'd like to encourage those who did not make it this year to take advantage of the opportunities provided through the Second Chance program. Do not see this as a failure, but as a setback from which you can learn and from which you can recover. The future of our country is in the hands of our young people. If we are to meet our developmental goals, we need to provide young people with quality education that prepares them not just for the challenges of the present, but also for the opportunities of the future. This year's Lekgotla is about equipping learners with knowledge and skills for an ever-changing world. Not only must we adapt to new ways of learning, but our own curricula has to respond to the changes in the world of work. In addition to having the right content, technologies and safe learning environment, we must ensure that our young people are grounded in the ethos of learning, but also of industry. The coronavirus pandemic has highlighted the digital divide in society, particularly with regards to the adoption of technologies for learning and teaching. It underscores the need to intensify efforts to ensure connectivity and equitable access to data. This calls for stronger public-private partnerships to ensure that we mobilize the necessary resources to help our learners. One of the key focus areas of the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan that our country is embarked on is to boost education and skills development. Our schools must teach the skills that will be able to support the growth of the economy and enable financial inclusion. We don't want an economic recovery that only benefits some people. We want it to benefit all. The higher education sector recently raised concerns about the large numbers of learners in subjects for which there is a lot of demand in the economy. This challenge begins in the early years. Firstly, with subject choices that limit future opportunities for learners, and secondly, with the poor performance of learners in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. Equipping learners with knowledge and skills for a changing world necessitates a relook at these critical subjects areas and the curriculum in general. As we review the matric results, one of the prominent indicators of quality is how the country is doing in these STEM subjects. If we are to seize the opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution, our education system must be reoriented towards its development in our country. Studies show that the country is lagging behind in the information technology skills that are needed for the digital revolution that we must embark upon, because it is here and it is happening now. It will not be possible for us to build a skilled economy as envisaged in the National Development Plan if we do not pay attention to subject areas at basic education level. Even as the pandemic delayed the process last year, the Department of Basic Education is making headway on the national rollout of coding and robotics. This I am very pleased about. The draft coding and robotics curriculum has been submitted to Umalusi for evaluation and quality assurance, and the draft curriculum will soon be gazetted. This issue of coding is really important. During this year, 200 schools will be piloting the draft curriculum from grades R to 3, and 1,000 schools will be piloting the grades 7 curriculum. However, focus on these new areas should not come at the expense of basic skills such as reading for comprehension. We also have to continue to invest in early childhood development as the foundation for cognitive development and create policy certainty where it is lacking. Knowledge and skills for a changing world also include emotional stability, intelligence, and an environment where learners can be safe from abuse. We need to build stronger social compacts that put learners and their education first. And this means social compacts with the key stakeholders in our sector, with our trade unions, with the parents, with various service providers, of course with educators, and those who continue to work to improve the education of our children. The past year has been extremely difficult, but the people of this great country have shown great resilience and resolve. The year ahead will also be challenging, but we now have a clear path to recovery. And with our focus on developing the skills that children need for a changing world, we also have a clear path towards a better future. I'd like to wish you well as you deliberate in this Lekgotla, and whatever contributions and discussions, debates, and even arguments that you will have, just keep on remembering that you are preparing the future of our country. Treat it as correctly as we would like it to be treated. Have a wonderful Lekgotla, and thank you very much for having me in your company. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.